What's up guys, my name is Liam and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Lamzu Paro Aurora. They did release a version of the Paro last year and I do believe that it had the race shift switches in it and possibly their older firmware. So with this newer updated version it now comes with the Omron Opticals and you can use their web-based driver. So in this video I'm going to be telling you how my experience has been with it so far. We will be comparing it to some of the competition out there and hopefully in this video I'll be able to help you decide whether or not this could possibly be the perfect gaming mouse for you. So let's check it out. And before we get started today, I did want to let you know that this was sent out to me. However, everything you're going to be hearing in this video is going to be my own words and my own opinions. Included inside the box, you get the same typical Lamzu premium unboxing experience. It does come with a USB-C to USB Type-A cable, some documentation, their grips, and then an extra set of skates, this storage bag, and this mouse will be shipping at $120 US. It will come with the 8K wireless receiver, and here is what that does look like. They did go away with the open bottom design, so it now is enclosed. This does have an on and off switch over here on the right hand side, DPI button right here, and I really love the skate design that does come on this. Nice big skates, and the skates that do come included on this mouse, they also do feel fantastic. A really nice and smooth glide. Back over here at the top, the entire time that I've been using this, the shell integrity on this has felt solid. I've not noticed any major bending, any type of creaking or anything like that. They do have their coating on here, which does feel very grippy. Huge fan of this coating. As you can see with the black copy of this mouse, it is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. As I did mention in the intro, this does have the Omron Opticals. Lamzu does work with Omron to get these switches tuned for their mice. Now I'm very aware that in a lot of my videos for these Lamzu mice that I come across as being a shill, but truthfully, every time I get one of their mice in my hands, I'm honestly just kind of taken back on how great these mice really do feel. With the click implementation, I mean, you just get practically no pre-travel. It goes straight into the click. These clicks are incredibly lightweight, not a whole lot of post-travel. Even coming up here in the front, just a little bit of play, but not a whole lot. And you can actually push it down if you're to push a little bit harder and make contact with the shell. And honestly, the click implementation on this mouse just feels fantastic. Even clicking back here from the rear, it's very lightweight. And I feel like no matter where you click on this mouse, you get a very consistent click. And I mean, these clicks are just so lightweight and easy to spam. Same thing over here on mouse 2. They do feel identical to one another. You might be able to see just a very minimal play left to right there, but honestly feels very solid. I don't notice any type of switch grinding or anything like that. The scroll wheel does feel similar to the other mice with this rubberized scroll wheel. It is very grippy. I would say you get medium style of steps here, so you can notice the difference between the steps. And the center scroll click has a nice tensioning to it. You can still spam it so it doesn't feel too stiff, but also it doesn't feel too loose either. They've also continued their legacy with having really good feeling side buttons. Back here in the rear, just a very minimal amount of play, but it goes right into a click. Very light and easy to spam. When you click in the middle here, very minimal play as well, but after you do click, a little bit of post travel, not a whole lot, and there's no major noticeable wobbling going from front to back. Same thing, you have a really solid click up here in the front side button as well. So yeah, I mean, this mouse, like I said, just everything about the feeling of the hands is very impressive. And for my standards, an S+ tier mouse as far as the feeling and the build quality on it goes. So let's go ahead and we will drop a click quality sound check. When it comes to the weight and balance, everything also does feel spot on as far as a front to back and left to right goes. So with these larger skates that come installed on here, dropping on my scale, looks like we're getting it at approximately 50 grams. The settings for this mouse is accessible through their web-based driver. I've already gone over this several times, but I do enable this high performance mode, and it allows you to do things like adjust the click to bounce setting, your DPI and pulling rate. So these are the settings I do use as I'm using this mouse. For the performance, this does have a 3950 sensor in it, and the performance on this is top tier. Unfortunately, I still haven't seen any updates on the Xlite yet, and since this does have the Omron Opticals, I am getting some inconsistent reads, but I can assure you that this does play fantastic, and I do know that this does have some of the top latency out there. I just can't bring you my own personal numbers I was able to pull off this at this time. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the shape and the size of this. I really do like it a lot. And I would say that on the scale comparison, this is a smaller size of a mouse, but I wouldn't put it as small as something like the Xlite V3 or V4 Mini. It does feel just a little bit larger to me, so pretty close to a 1.5 scale, or somewhere between a small to a medium-sized mouse. As you can see, it does have the raised up side over here to protect you from rubbing up against the mouse click number 2. So let's just go ahead, we'll jump right into it. We'll start out with the Thorn, one of their previous Ergos. And the comparison between both of these, the Thorn is more of a true medium or size 2 style of a mouse, so it is a little bit bigger than the Paro is. So when looking at these both from the bottom, as you can see, the Thorn is just a little bit longer. When I put these together though, the grip width down here in the bottom, not that far apart really from one another. The Thorn over here just might feel like it's a little bit wider, but the other differences is when it does come to the Thorn, it does have quite a bit more height. And the one thing about both of these mice is I've actually reviewed the Thorn and talked about it quite a bit on my channel. The Thorn does have this slower taper from front to back where you get more of a hump back here, and I do prefer more of this aggressive type of a hump that does fall off more aggressively towards the rear. So this is kind of closer to an EC2 style of a shape. All right, so next up, while we're at it, I will throw it up against my Xlite V3 size 1 or the Mini. And as I'd already mentioned, really the scale of these don't feel that far apart from one another. But as you might be able to tell here, the Paro just a little bit wider, a little bit longer. And when it comes to the hump profile, the height on the hump here, over here on the left side, not that far apart from one another. And the shapes on these are actually pretty close as well. But again, to me, the Paro, when you're holding both of these in the hand, that Paro does feel just like it's a little bit bigger. So next up, we'll throw it up against the Pwnage Stormbreaker, and I feel like the Stormbreaker is a little bit closer to a 1.5 size myself. So I would say that the scale of these are pretty close to one another. When you are going back and forth and holding these in the hand though, the Stormbreaker does feel like it is just a little bit larger. But putting these next to each other, the length on the bottom here, not really that far apart. And here's a really quick look of what the curve profile from the back looks like from the top left down to the side. So the height of the hump over here on the Pwnage Stormbreaker is a little bit taller than the Paro. So like I said, just holding these in the hand next to each other to scale these, not really that far, but the Stormbreaker does feel just a little bit larger. All right, and then last but not least, I will throw it up against the EC2-DW. And as I'd mentioned to you, the EC2 is just a little bit of a larger mouse. I do kind of wish I had the EC3-DW to do a shape comparison to this mouse. Unfortunately, I don't have one, so I do apologize about that. The grip width of these, not really a whole lot further apart down here in the bottom. But again, everything about the EC2 does have just a little bit of a taller or higher hump. So all around, it does feel like a bigger version of a mouse compared to the Paro. Alright guys, so that wraps things up on the brand new Lamzu Paro Aurora. And really I don't have anything much to say about it. I wish I could really critique this. I guess I kind of wish they would have got it to a little bit of a lighter weight, though the 50 gram range for me honestly is great. And like I said, truly the second I got this out of the box, I just have been loving using it. It's been a fantastic experience. Everything on it feels top tier, from the performance, the clicks, the coating, the skates that come included. So yeah, this is without question one of my favorite Ergo gaming mice out there on the market. And I even really like the scale myself a lot. So I can definitely absolutely recommend going and checking this out. So if you guys have any additional questions or feel like I left anything out, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have enjoyed watching this video and are interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, please drop this video a like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.